Hi, this is George Alger. Welcome to today's segment of Our Ventura TV. Today we're going to be speaking about the topic of mandated vaccinations in the fire department. And speaking with us is Kenny Hahn, who is a retired LA County fire captain. Welcome, Kenny. And just so we can frame this discussion for everybody, what's going on regarding mandated vaccinations for firefighters?
Well, first of all, thank you, George, for having me on your show. It's a pleasure to be here. As far as I understand, the mandate that is being presented by the County of Los Angeles in regards to the fire department is in order to stay employed with the fire department, with the County of Los Angeles, you will have to be vaccinated and also take the follow up boosters in order to remain on the job.
Good. And as a retired uh, firefighter and a retired captain, what is your views or your position on this?
Well, my personal view on this is I am against the mandates. I am choosing not to take the vaccine for various reasons, my own personal reasons, but I am against the mandates that the County of Los Angeles is trying to put on our firefighters.
Good. And you want to speak to those reasons?
Well, I first of all, I believe that having a choice is huge. I mean, it's part of the fabric of our society as Americans. And to have someone tell you that you have to introduce a foreign body into I'm sorry, a foreign chemical in your body, is just not right. So that's why I'm taking the stance that I am as far as the mandate. My personal reasons for not taking the vaccine, um, one is the time that it took to get the vaccine out. It was under a year. And my understanding from the research that I've done, that it takes almost 18 months to 2 years to actually start the clinical testing and trials for any type of new vaccine put out there. So my personal reason is just because of the timing of the creation of the vaccine, as well as other things that, if we want to discuss, we can.
Okay, well, good. So if we have time, we'll loop back to this. Now, obviously, you're aware of this controversy surrounding this. I'm wondering if you could comment on that.
Well, the controversy around it is, again, it all goes back to pro-choice. For me, it's not about the vax versus the unvaxxed. I think that the bigger question here, or the bigger fight, I should say, is the right to choose. And I personally feel that no entity, company, corporation, fire department has the right to tell me that I have to take a shot that I do not want to, and I don't have the choice to try something alternative to keep myself healthy and just basically keep myself healthy with alternative choices, even if the choice is just to say no.
Okay, very good. Now, I wonder if you might be able to comment on, let's just call this the other side. I mean, there are, the idea of mandates is likely, to be a positive thing for fire department personnel and for the people that the fire department are interacting with. Could you speak about that?
I think the people that the firefighters or people in general that choose to take the vaccine, I think it's great. I mean, obviously they have done their research, hopefully, and they feel comfortable enough to take the vaccine. And I wish them well. I don't have anything on people that have chosen to take the vaccine. That's their personal choice, just like I'm exercising my personal choice not to take it. So I don't have any an issue. I think it's great. More power to them, and I wish them well.
Good. Now, of course, you're retired, but I understand that you still interact with other retired firefighters and are perhaps somewhat informed about what's going on in the non-retired firefighter community. I'm wondering if you could just speak to perhaps other people's or other firefighters' perspectives on this, and if there's other reasons that you're aware of beyond your own that you might want to discuss.
Well, I think that the firefighters that I've spoken with, I mean, they're some of the firefighters that I've spoken with, they have taken the vaccine for their, personal choice, which is great. There are a group of firefighters from the county presently that are making a statement by telling the department that they don't feel that a mandate from the county is right. And what I understand is that it's gone to the point where there may be some legal actions being mounted against the county of Los Angeles from these group of firefighters from the county. That's just my understanding.
Okay, very good. You wouldn't happen to have access to any statistics on let's say, the pro-choice and the pro-mandate, the percentage of people in the fire department or the percentage of firefighters who might fall into those categories.
Well, I've heard different types of numbers, but numbers can be changed to whatever um, agenda you want to present. So I don't have any factual numbers on that at this time.
Okay, fair enough. Let's loop back to what you were saying regarding some other reasons. If there are some more that you'd like to mention, let's mention them.
Yeah, I think that in my research, I would just really want to keep it that this is my research, and it doesn't mean that it is gospel. Um, that there were data gaps that haven't been um, proven or submitted to the FDA by these vaccine companies. And one misnomer for me is, they gave Pfizer a EUA, which is emergency use authorization, in the beginning to give the vaccine, and mainstream media recently has said that the vaccine has been approved. Now, you could go on the CDC website. This is the great thing, there's facts that back this up. You can go on the CDC website and the FDA website, because what happened was the CDC just reapproved the emergency use authorization to Pfizer. So it's not an approved vaccine, just the emergency authorization use has been re-upped. So, you know, this is a very hot topic, and my come from pretty much is not to create a division, but to create unity through communication. And if someone from the side of being vaccinated, if they have some research, maybe I can learn something. I'm really open to learning all sides of the situation, but just for me, I'm choosing not to take the vaccine.
Very good. All right. Well, that's a good time to segue to the end here. But if there's a summating message you'd like to add here before we wrap things up, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that, again, conversation needs to be had, and to break down the division between the vax versus the unvaxxed. I mean, I think that that's something that has been created by the media, and we can just sit down and talk about it. Now, one misnomer that I really want to clear up, if it's out there, just because I choose not to take the vaccine or other people choose not to take the vaccine, doesn't mean that we're not doing anything to keep our immune systems up or protect ourselves. So that's hardly ever spoken in mainstream media. It's just the vaccinated are um, susceptible to being sick from the unvaccinated. But I personally, and I'll be very transparent with you, George, I did have a bout with COVID, and I took hydroxychloroquine, zinc, C, D, and in 72 hours, I was fine.
Wow.
So that's what I mean by alternative means of taking care of yourself, other than being introduced with pretty much an unknown substance and you have no idea how it's going to affect you months or years down the road. There is no data to support that.
All right, Kenny Hahn. Well, thank you very much. We're going to wrap things up here.
Thanks for having me.
This is George Alger signing off for this segment of Our Ventura TV. Until I meet again.